We're gonna get started here. Yeah, thank you everybody for joining. I've got Wilhelmina here. Wilhelmina, could you just kind of briefly intro yourself?
Hi, my name's Wilhelmina Santana. I'm the executive director over at the Visalia Fox Theatre. I previously worked for a big corporation, and now I'm in a nonprofit sector, which I absolutely love.
Awesome. And I'm the founder and CEO of Prism. And I'm gonna do a quick, just kind of what is Prism for everybody and the story. Then I'm gonna jump over to talking to Wilhelmina about her experience in using Prism and just highlight her story. So I'll get that out of the way. So So long story short, I started Prism to create a better booking infrastructure. We work really well for small clubs all the way up to theaters, performing arts centers, and even some arenas. I've been in the industry for 15 plus years. I've put on over 1,000 shows in and around Austin, Texas. I booked a festival for 4 years. I've definitely rolled my sleeves up and deeply understand how challenging it is to put on shows. And I did most of this out of Austin, Texas, where I'm headquartered out of. Long story short, what we're showing here is a graphic that I'm sure everyone can relate to. There's just 1,000 little details going around with every single show that's planned, and Prism can help make it all just be streamlined and simplified. And the problem at scale when you're not just doing one show but thousands of shows is just extremely intense. So with Prism, you can create offers. Um, you can track all of your expenses. Your production team can plan your event. Basically, everything that you need to do from a planning perspective, from financials to day of show, you can do inside of Prism. And you can also settle and run financial reports as well. We really recently launched a tool called Insights, which we're extremely excited about. It's powered by mostly by our data, or I should say our customers' data, but also people who are not using our core product can use Prism or can use Insights through our ticketing integrations as well. So it's basically like it's a lot like Polestar in terms of the reporting mechanisms, but it's a lot of folks who don't traditionally report to Polestar, and all of the reporting is automated through settlement reports or ticketing, which makes it inherently different. So it's here. Our friend Ivy said on one offer alone, he saved $10,000 thanks to Insights, which basically paid for his Prism subscription in one offer. And of course, he's not just sending one offer every year; he's sending thousands. So this is a very powerful tool that I'm excited to be offering. I'm going to skip past the live demo today because we're talking to Wilhelmina. But long story short, what I'm showing you here on this slide is we have demonstratable data that when someone uses Prism fully, they become a more profitable business. We see less shuttered business out of the customer segments that are fully using Prism, and we've also gotten reports that you can do up to 44 more events per year just by using Prism, and events are also more profitable as well. We love our partners. We started off with 4 in 2018 and have grown rapidly. There's over 420 organizations booking 2,000 plus venues around the country, and these partners are also a key part of making sure that the platform continues to develop. We're always trying to make Prism better and better and better. And I just touched on that. I'm going to leave this slide up for a second. I'll put it up towards the end of the conversation. But yeah, long story short, if you're interested in learning more, please reach out to us. We would love to show you a demo even outside of this. So without further ado, let's get to the main point, the exciting point of this webinar. So my conversation with Wilhelmina. So yeah, please, you gave a little bit of your background, but why don't you start at like when you were considering in your new role, when you were considering using Prism and yeah, your thought process from adapting the tool, what you went through in terms of that decision and how it's been since adopting, and we'll just go from there. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to actually start a little bit further back because when I was in the big corporate sector, I was the director of event services for, and we managed 4 different buildings, which means we had to build event resumes for 4 different buildings, and sometimes we had 6 events going on at one time. We were using Excel to do event resumes, and there was just an Excel spreadsheet to do inventory. There was just so many different parts of it, and if somebody was in our event resume and we tried to update it, we couldn't update it. It was a huge mess. And so I left that big corporation in 2019. In 2021, after COVID, I started as the executive director with the Visalia Fox Theatre. And of course, what's the first thing that I do is I start adopting the same thing that I did before. In 2022, I went to the ETIX conference, who is our ticketing provider with the Fox Theatre, and Prism was there. And I sat and I listened to, at the time, Vera go over all of this stuff. And I sat there with my mouth open like, oh my God, what a godsend this would be to have. So I came back to the Fox after the ETIX conference and talked to my venue manager, who used to work with me as well at the other company. And we were just in awe of it. But because we were new, the Fox Theater was trying to build up again. Of course, the budget didn't allow for any of that. And then the following year, I believe, I went to NEVA in New Orleans, and you guys were there. And I sat and met with you guys, talked to you guys a lot. Got back, scheduled a demo, and now I had a whole different crew of people. And we sat there and we went through this demo, and all we did was look at each other like, oh my God, how much time would this save for us? So fast forward to 2024, we decide that, you know what, we're just going to take the plunge and we're going to go for it. I'm just going to do it. Because we are wasting so much time using the, Google Calendar, trying to keep our books. We have no way to track any, historical information. All of the events were on the Google Drive. If you had something on your computer that you were working on, you couldn't work remotely from it. It was just, there's so many pieces and things were constantly getting missed. And so in October of 24, we pulled the plunge, we started it, and I will swear to you that that is probably, in my 40 some odd years of in this business, probably the best decision I have ever made for an organization. It has streamlined so many parts, so many moving parts, from event managers advancing events to the production manager downloading the writer and putting in files for our estimates. I mean, there's endless amounts of things. And then Insight came along, and now we put in an artist and we can see data on the artist. We just booked Wallflowers, and they went on sale today. And I know that if any other venue out there is going to book them, they can now go into Insights and see, like, oh, wow, this event on this size venue is doing absolutely phenomenal. And so
Awesome.
This was just the best thing that I've ever done. I swear it is.
Wow. And for the record, I definitely did not put you up to say that. I think the quote was something along the lines of the best decision in 40 years. What do you think is, why don't you talk about like the before and after? Like what was like the major problems at the organization before, and like what if you could simplify it, and like now, like, how is it, what does it look like now?
So before, it was like double bookings. We've done that before, where we'd have to go because we were on Google Calendar and somebody got on the calendar and mistakenly deleted an event that was on there. And then have to go back to a promoter and say, oh my God, I'm so sorry, we already have a contract for this event. And and then you just upset promoters like that. And that's something you don't want to do. We weren't able to streamline the advancing process. It was like all over the place. Like the production guy knew what he was doing, but only the event manager knew what she was doing. And sometimes I was out of the loop, and I didn't have all the information I needed to do the event settlements. I won't even go over the event settlements. that in itself is a whole.
Well, go there. How has settlement simplified now that you're using Prism?
Well, we do rentals. We buy our own shows, and we do co-pros. And the most difficult part about settlements were the co-pros because every venue has their own deal. And when we first started with Prism and we did a co-pro settlement, I was like, there is no way it could have been this easy, because when I was using Excel and having to generate formulas and stuff like that, sometimes it would take me 2 weeks to do an event settlement because we just couldn't get things to balance out. So I went back to the old way and I just kind of looked at it and I was like, oh my God, forget about the old way. And I started using Prism, and I literally, it takes me 30 minutes to do an event settlement now. And the longest part of the settlement is entering all the costs and stuff like that, making sure that I have all my costs in and making sure the settlement looks right, making sure that every little piece is in there. So I went from almost 2 weeks of doing a co-pro event settlement to doing a co-pro settlement. I can do it the night of and hand it to the promoter, and he'll know more or less, what our take's going to be. So it's just been that to me, like Caroline Silva, she does all of our bookings. She loves it because she can now create one hold, and she can make it go from 1 week to 3 weeks, and she doesn't have to re-enter and re-enter and re-enter. It just she can automatically do it the way, and it saves so much time for her. She has templates created for contracts, for different types of contracts. It's all in there. We just go in every year and update the costs, and it's just the streamlining of that Prism gives us to allow us to do what we do is just saves so much time.
Love it. Love it. CoPro made me realize, so that was something that we built, that maybe you weren't, you were using Prism, I believe, before we had launched the new CoPro features. And so speak to, how you've seen Prism evolve in your time using it. One thing that we pride ourselves on is improving the product endlessly. And, has that been your experience, and what other features have you noticed that we've launch in the time that you've been with us?
Well, the CoPro is for one, and that was a huge thing for us when you updated it. Caroline was so excited. She goes, "Wilhelmina, the CoPro is updated. It's on there." So, and that has made things so much easier. The pro forma, I absolutely love the pro forma, because now I can, before I send out an offer, I can go in and I can create a template for a show that I want, and it will create a pro forma for me, and it'll tell me how much I'm going to make if I sell 30% of the house, or how much I'm going to make if I sell 50% of the house, or 75% of the house. And I sent that to a promoter who wants to co-pro Leonid and Friends, and he had never seen anything like that before. And I was like, he goes, "How did you do this?" I said, "It's all on this program that we use." And so there's the pro forma, there's the insight, there's the new thing that you have coming out. I can never remember the name of it,
the
but I'm
SDK. Yeah.
Yes, and I'm so excited about that. I'm hoping that Carolyn and I can get into that and hopefully use it to our advantage. And
I just wanted to show the pro forma real quick, just for everyone to see. This is the feature that she was mentioning here. So as you're building out an event, you have your deal, your revenue, your costs, your fixed costs and your variable costs. You now have the ability to kind of see this waterfall summary of, the show sells 100%. Here's the net profit, 90, 80, 70, 60, 50, 40%. In this hypothetical show here, which totally made up show, none of these are, the break even is below that.
Right.
But anyway, so it's just a really nice thing to look at a glance. And as we all know, many times the break even is going to come much before 40%. So it's really critical to see, oh, wow, if I don't sell 80% of my tickets across the board, the show's not going to break even. But I'm glad that you have used this feature. And other things that you can do is decide which ancillary revenue streams are going to be included in the break even or not.
Yep.
And you can set goals and a goal and a forecast also.
Yeah, absolutely. And the other thing that's very helpful for us too is the internal settlement, because when you're doing a co-pro, obviously, are there promoters on here?
I can show that too.
Yeah, the
So yeah,
internal settlement is what we're actually going to make, and it's not the settlement that I'm going to give the promoter, which is if you go under deals, you can hit once you've confirmed it, or you go into in settlement. If you go
yep,
into in settlement,
yep.
you can actually print the settlement, and it'll tell you what the settlement is that you're going to send the promoter. But then if you hit internal settlement, it'll tell you what your actual is, which is absolutely amazing, because then I can tell if I'm going to do a co-pro and I have the deal all set up. I can go in there and I can say, okay, well, I am going to make a pretty good decent amount of money off of this show, which is so very helpful when you're a small nonprofit, requiring ticket sales. So
Yep.
yeah. Mhm.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I just showed a little bit of the
Yeah.
CoPro features too. So I added Live Nation as a partner here. Again, this is totally hypothetical show. You have your Live
Yeah.
Nation settlement. You can break out who collected what revenue, who spent what cost, and it
Yeah.
generates a balance as well. So in this event, um, 50% of the show profit is $439. But then, their final payout is also another $439. But sometimes that can be different if, for instance, you're holding on to all the cash from the event, so that, and they haven't collected any of the revenue or the expenses, then obviously the difference here between what they made versus what they're owed, like Prism can help you calculate as well. So
Yeah.
what were you doing with GoPro before this? You just had like a spreadsheet?
Excel spreadsheet. Yeah,
Yeah.
I created an Excel template. Formulas all over the place, and it's only as good as the whoever's doing it. And it's just I in the business I started using Lotus, and Lotus turned into Excel, and it's
Yeah.
like, God, there
Wow.
has to be something so much easier to be able to do this stuff. And you like hit the nail on the head with this one. It was, to me, it's a home run. I can't imagine not using it anymore.
Are you using the financial reporting to look at, like, how the profitability of your events across like a year or a quarter or anything like that?
That's the only thing I haven't gotten in depth with, and I really need to. And the only reason why we haven't is there's just been a lot of moving parts since we've taken on Prism last year. Our bookkeeper has been out for a while. She had a baby. She's the one that has to enter all the financial information, and so we're getting back up. I was out for a while on medical. I've been out again for another 6 weeks or so. So it's like once we get 100% all of us back and we are able to start entering all that financial information in there,
Yeah.
I will start using it. But our marketing, she goes in and she enters what our actual costs are for all the marketing stuff that she does.
Cool.
It's that makes it so much easier.
How about the Etix integration? Are you pulling in your ticket sales automatically from Etix? And why don't you
Automatic
talk about that?
as soon as we build the etix event, the very first thing we do is we go into Prism and we link etix with Prism, and then it just every so often it just refreshes and it downloads all the information. So I very seldom go to etix unless I have to print a report or put seats on hold or sell tickets. But if I'm just looking at reporting and stuff like that, I just go right into Prism and it's all right. Everything's right there for me. Everything. You cut out.
I was on mute there. So just to show it, so on each event, you can automatically connect it to your ticketing system. So as long as it's integrated with Prism, shout out to Etix for being one of our first integration partners. So these health bars will update in real time. You can just at a glance see what shows are profitable, what shows are not quite profitable but approaching. And if there was a show that was worse off, it would be in the red. So it just helps
Yeah.
folks, kind of have a living, breathing dashboard of the health of their shows. And of course, if you look at that inside of Etix, that's great that you can see gross revenue, but you're not seeing it next to your expenses. So just another thing that Prism does.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just, I mean, it's such a lifesaver, such a time saver. I mean, we've given access to our audio guy. He's our preferred audio tech, and he can go in and he can download files, his invoice. He can pull out the tech writer if he needs to. Our event manager goes in and she does the run of show and she advances it. Our operations supervisor, he goes in and prints it out and he knows how the lobby needs to be set or what time doors or how to schedule. All of that's on there. So it's such a, and we can do it from anywhere because it's cloud based. So I can do it wherever I'm at. I can even pull it up on my phone.
Got it. Love it. Love it. Um, so I want to ask you about a little bit about insights. Who's using insights on your team and like, what is your experience and like, has it helped you on like a specific offer or like yeah, tell us a little bit more about your experience with insights, which is obviously our data share platform where if you are actively contributing data, to the platform, you get access to other folks' data that agree to share it. But anyway, yeah, how's your experience been with that so far?
It's been pretty good. Caroline is the one that mostly uses it because she's the one she's the first point of contact to for a promoter to call and say, hey, I've got this show, what do you guys think? She'll go in and she'll research all that information and she'll say, oh, well, Amina, hey, I looked at this show and this is the information that I got on the different places that it's been that's comparable to our venue and our location. So it's been pretty
Love
good.
that.
It's helped. Yeah. And we use, for the most part, everybody uses Polestar, but
Yep,
this is all, and this is a one-stop shop. It's like everything's right there.
absolutely. So I got one more question before I open it up to the audience to see if anyone wants to ask you a question. But the one last question is, what do you think before you took the leap into Prism, like what was your biggest concern, and like how did you kind of get through that concern, and like and now that you're using Prism, like how do you reflect on what that concern was?
Well, my concern was obviously the cost. And I know that that's a big thing for small nonprofits is cost. And, the more we waited and the longer we took to decide, I just did the leap and I did it. Beg for forgiveness later type of, mentality. I'm just going to do it. I'm not going to wait. I'm not going to try to prove it. I already know what it can do. I know what I need it to do. And so we did that jump. And when we have board meetings and we talk about different things that we get to do, we talk about Prism all the time and how much time it has saved. Then I don't have to beg for forgiveness anymore because they see how much time Prism has saved and for us and how much more we get to do because we don't have to spend so much time doing all the other stuff, all the Excel spreadsheets. It's all right there. So that was our biggest concern. And now I have no regrets whatsoever. It's so justifiable to any brand new board member or long-standing board member on why we really, really need to have it.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, I think you had told me offline when we were first talking that like you made the decision kind of unilaterally and were just decided that you were gonna, yeah, again, ask for forgiveness later if you needed it.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally was just like, you know what, I'm just going to do it and spread it out through 12 months and it won't be a big shock to everybody, but I think, again, like I said in the beginning, I think that's the best decision I have ever made is just going to something that is to a platform that just if you go to one place and it does absolutely everything for you.
Love it. Love it. Well, we've got a little bit of time left. If I want to open it up to the audience to see if there's any questions for either me or Wilhelmina. Yeah, anyone that is in the webinar can feel free to just raise your hand and then I'll unmute you. And yeah, we'll just pause for a second and yeah, see who has any questions to ask.
Chris, that's a
Why don't you read the question and then answer it?
Okay, so the question was overall, how much time do I think I save on a weekly basis by using Prism? I've not calculated, but what I can tell you is previously it's like you had to go in and save the document, you had to go in and change everything on it, you had to go in and adjust it. You had to, save it, then you had to figure it out, and you had to do. So I would say for each event, on just creating the contract, we probably save a couple of hours. On the settlement side. It's endless. Just maybe 30 hours a week. If that, I don't know if that sounds like a lot, but
That's
I've
a
never
lot.
calculated, but it does save a lot. It saves an awful lot of time.
30 hours a week is near a full-time person.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
amazing.
Yep.
Amazing. That is the sometimes the way that we help folks justify the cost is
Yeah.
we say, hey, like, this, I'll alternate, like, oftentimes Prism is much cheaper than even hiring an intern, and like realistically, like, how much productivity are you going to get out of one intern? But with Prism, it makes your entire team more efficient.
Oh
And
yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah, and then Caroline will just say, "Hey, can you look at these costs?" I'll open it up, and it's everything's real time, and I can make the changes, and she can see the changes that are being made right then and there. So it's like I don't have to wait for her to email it and then fix it, save it, send it back. It's just all right there. Have you and Caroline ever used Prism remotely? All the time. I use it on my phone. We use it on our phone. I work from home because I can't drive yet. So yeah, we use it remotely all the time.
yeah. Was that a change? Did it enable kind of working remotely more efficiently?
Oh, absolutely. Because if I had like an Excel spreadsheet on my computer at work, then I'd have to call Caroline and say, "Hey, can you email it to me so that I can download it on my computer so that I can do this and do that?" So yeah, that's definitely saves a lot of time.
Awesome. Thank you. Okay. Any other questions while we're here?
Was Prism a hard system? No, and no, it was not a hard system to learn whatsoever. Eshton did our onboarding for us, and he was so very thorough. And to this day, he still checks in with us to make sure we're doing okay. If we have any questions, if we need anything, it is extremely user friendly, and that's all I can say. It is so user friendly.
Love that. Love that. Okay. Any other questions? While I'm here, I just wanted to say hi to Randy. Randy, this is not the typical content that you and I jam on. Can you hear me? Are you over there? If you can hear me, are you unmute? Hey Randy, yeah. You got any questions? I feel like you always got something. All good. I don't mean to call you out. I guess I did. All right, sweet.
And I only have one venue, so but I could, Caroline has gone in there and she puts all my board meetings on our Prism calendar, so I don't have to work from two different calendars. But if someone has multi venues, you can look at your calendar and you can see at one glance what is where. You don't have to like switch back and forth. If you can click on little icons and it'll tell you what venue you're looking at, or you can tell it you want to look at all of your venues. So I think if anybody has multi venues, I think that's a big plus for them.
Great,
I know
great.
I would have liked it when I was at the convention center where I was at. I know that would have been such a huge help for us on the event planning side.
Great. Well, let's wrap it up with one last question, and for that question, I'm just going to ask you, yeah, for anyone like deciding whether or not they want to join the system, like what do you have to say to them?
Oh, take the leap. You will not regret it. It will definitely, it'll save you time. You'll be like, why did I wait so long to do this? And you will not regret it. It's the best thing ever to have everything right there at the touch of a hand.
Love it. Perfect. Well, that's a good one to wrap on. Thank you so much. I'm gonna end the webinar. Wilhelmina, can't thank you enough. Really appreciate it.
My
Uh,
pleasure. Thanks for having me, and thank you for creating something like this. It's
oh
absolutely
yeah, of
it's so
course.
amazing.
Labor of love. It's been interesting.
Absolutely.
Been an
And
interesting
we
eight
feel it. We
years.
can totally feel it.
Yeah. We'll keep making it better and better as well. Thank you, Wilhelmina. Appreciate you.
You're welcome. See y'all later. Thank you.
Yep. All right. Bye.